Okay, so we're just gonna jump right into this video. Floch is the most underrated character in all of Attack on Titan. He has one of the most amazing character developments I have ever seen in anything. I'm making this after having just watched the latest installment of Attack on Titan, and when I saw Floch somehow survive after his legendary moment, I got genuinely emotional. I did not expect to almost tear up at him just being on screen at that moment, and that's when I realized how perfectly Floch was written. Let's go back to Season 3. When we first meet Floch, he's more or less an unremarkable character. He was a soldier at the Battle of Shiganshina, who, as the battle went on, realized how truly terrified of death he was, and firsthand saw how fragile a human is. Floch saw the immeasurable odds against the Beast Titan and panicked. He didn't want to be there. He was just a normal soldier who couldn't handle it. And of course, then he heard the legendary speech from Erwin, who convinced everyone in the army to run to their deaths simply as a distraction for Levi. And somehow, someway, Floch was the sole survivor of that charge. Call it pure luck or a curse, he survived. This battle changed Floch, almost unrecognizably. Now that Erwin was dead, he started to question if what he was fighting for was worth dying for. Which brings us to Season 4 Floch, in one specific scene that made me completely understand how much I didn't appreciate him for what he was. Floch in Season 4 is a big part of the Igorists, and we see something very different. Floch is very confident in what he's fighting for. After seeing what war was like and how fragile people are, he was willing to do anything to save his people and stop future conflict. Which brings me to this scene. The scene that happens right before Floch's death. This 1-minute scene is genuinely one of, if not my favorite scene in this entire f***ing show. Floch shows his character progression in the most poetic way I've ever seen, as he displayed every attribute described in Erwin's final speech.
Because my soldiers do not buckle or yield when faced with the cruelty of this world! My soldiers push forward! My soldiers scream out! My soldiers rage!
Floch is once again faced with immeasurable odds against experienced Titan users, the Commander, and 2 Ackermen. But in this moment, unlike last time, he did not yield or buckle when faced with the cruelty of the world. He pushed forward, he screamed out, and he raged. He became the soldier that Erwin described perfectly. But once again, humans are fragile, and Floch had 0 plot armor. And right before he succeeded in stopping the protagonists, he gets shot and lands in the water and is presumed dead. That scene alone made me realize how amazing he was written. But when he returned, and it turned out he had made it all the way to the plane because he truly believed in Eren's goals, he died right there. But this time, unlike a lot of his comrades, he died for what he truly believed in. This man who was petrified of dying a meaningless death found meaning in his own. And that made me surprisingly emotional. But, in conclusion, Floch is a badass who knew he didn't have plot armor, but did everything he could anyway. I really had to talk about this after having watched the newest installment. It just made me think about how much I think Floch is underappreciated. Also, we are extraordinarily close to 1K subscribers, so if you could help us get there, I would really appreciate it. I hope you all, enjoyed this video. It's been an honor, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.